Good morning, this is Faith at Faith and Books, and I'm going to do a very quick video because I'm running late. I'm about to go on a walk for MS, not for MS, but to eradicate it, to support people who are suffering from MS, because my sister's husband has MS, and so I'm meeting her, and we're going to go for this walk to raise money. And we went to church last night, and then this is Sunday morning right now. It's April 3rd. And it's about 8:30, and I'm running late. I'm supposed to be there at 9. So I don't really want to be there at 9 because the walk doesn't start until 10. So that means I'm going to stand around in 48 degrees for an hour before I even start walking. It would just tire me out, and I'll be really cold. So I sort of feel like being late, but then again, I don't want to be late because people are waiting for us. Anyway, so we'll see how that all goes. I thought I would do a really quick update. So much is going on with the garden, and I can't talk about that, so I don't have time. But yeah, my mind has really been on the garden. So let me see, without shaking the camera too much, if I can show you what I'm doing. So let's see. I am continuing to read City of God. I've got to get better at reading it in the morning. I've stopped doing that, and then I have to catch up on the weekends. I don't really like reading it that way. I'd rather read a little bit every morning. It doesn't take all week, though. Maybe 2 to 4 mornings a week I could actually get it done, because we're reading it in such little bits each week to sort of conquer the whole thing over the course of a year. But I'm enjoying it. He does get redundant, and he's going quite into detail about how gross the pagan religious activities were, how obscene they were. So yeah, that part he really didn't like. But still, that's a good read. And then the book that I finished this week. I just threw my books in here. Hold on, what did I do with? Oh yeah, this was a good book. I finished reading The Eagle of the Ninth by Rosemary Sutcliffe. I highly recommend it. It's beautiful writing. You just feel so pulled into that time period, and the main character is such a good character to sympathize with. And while this could be middle school, the language is pretty literary in advance. Like, I had to look up some words. So I don't know if I feel like the youth of today are a little bit dumbed down. But somebody who was advanced could enjoy this. It's slow also, but it's slow in a good way. The first half of the book is really the build-up, and then the second half is sort of more plot-driven. But I really enjoyed it, and I'm going to read. This is the first in a trilogy. I can never remember the name. She wrote a bunch of them in Rome and Britain, but 2 others are considered part of this trilogy. But I am going to try to read the rest of this trilogy at some point this year. So I enjoyed that. That was my focus on the ancients, and I'm enjoying that. And then I started reading right after that, and I managed to read like the first 5 pages still in the month of March. So it was still part of March Mystery Madness, but I started to read this book, Death of a Traveling Man. And I'm not that far. See, can you see how far I've gotten? I'm like on page, I don't know, what am I on? Page 40. But I'm enjoying it. It's humorous. It's light. Hamish Macbeth seems like an interesting character. All the characters in this little Scottish village in the Highlands. And yeah, it's enjoyable and light. So I'm enjoying it. And then, let's see, I'm still reading Belinda on my Kindle. I'm going to be doing that for a while, but I'm still really enjoying it. And then I'm still listening to Don Quixote, and I made this big goof. I said on the Boxer group that I'd finished volume 1. For some reason, I thought I had. I thought that the guy had announced it on LibriVox that I'd finished volume 1, but I hadn't. So I'm embarrassed. I've got egg on my face. I don't know. I have to get back on there and say, no, I didn't finish volume 1. Volume 1 is very, very big. But I have gotten to chapter 45. So it's very interesting. It's reminding me a little bit of Canterbury Tales in that it's all these people on an inn telling stories, but it's not the setup like they just happen to be you know, winding up at this inn, and then you find out about their stories or people they meet along the way, and you find out their backstories, or they tell stories. But it is kind of that, it's got that Canterbury Tales feel of these different travelers telling stories. And I'm enjoying it. It's a lot of romantic stories, all different ages and situations. Yeah, but it's, and Don Quixote is in there all the time, being his crazy self, and Sancho trying to deal with it in his simple way. So I'm enjoying Don Quixote. Yeah, so, all right, so let me also show you a little bit of a book haul. Not a real one. Let's see. Wait, I want that to fall. I did buy this book. Sorry if I'm jiggling too much. It's The Family Garden Plan by Melissa K. Norris. I joined her group. I got like a hair sticking out there. I joined her group, her gardening group, and I just like her approach so much. She's so practical. She just gives you the facts you need to know. I really like her approach. It really is helpful to me. Her style of presenting the information is very helpful. So I got this, and this is Grow a Year's Worth of Sustainable and Healthy Food is the subtitle. So I'm enjoying that. I'm glad I got that. And then I'm also gotten interested in botany because of all the gardening. I'm just really interested in botany. So I got a bunch of books out of the library, which I just picked up yesterday. This is How to Identify Plants. So we'll see how that goes. This is a kid's book that, it's funny, at the same time that I'm into the garden, the little kindergartner is growing seeds, learning all about seeds and stuff in kindergarten. And so I got a book for him. We just planted some grass seeds because they did it in school and he wanted to do it at home too. Then this is the one I'm really going to dip into, Botany for Dummies. That seems like just my level. And then I got this one called A Botanist's Vocabulary, which is amazing. This is where they get all the really hard spelling words for the National Spelling Bee. I am convinced it's just its own language. These long words that are all based in Latin and Greek, and very particular to a particular aspect of plant life. So yeah, so this is an interesting book to go through. So that's my library haul about botany and my new gardening book, and what I'm reading right now, the M.C. Beaton Hamish Macbeth mystery. Let's see, Eagle of the Ninth was the book I finished this week. I don't have an April TBR. I'm just not going to do that. Oh, I have to show you another book that I hauled, or I bought. I bought this for my new, I might have shown this already. Did I show this already? My new grandson named Felix. And this is a book called St. Felix and the Spider. Very cute story. So at one point, I'm going to give that to him. Of course, he's just an infant right now. He won't appreciate it, but... And I've decided for my focus on the classics, starting this month, I'm going to read a chapter, or you might call it a book, a month. And that won't get me through this year. It'll go into the next year. But I do, as much as St. Augustine is, criticizing the pagan religion of the Roman world, I want to read Ovid's retelling of all the myths. I've never read this. It's a classic. I'm trying to teach myself Latin, though I haven't been doing it very much in the last few weeks. But it's Latin with Ovid, via Ovid. So I want to try to actually read Ovid. So I'm going to just take each chapter or each book, each poetic book. The way I'm holding it, I can't open it up to the table of contents. So anyway, each month, and maybe if I want to do more than one a month, I can do that. But and I don't care if I don't get it done in 2022. It can continue on for a few months into 23. But I would like to say that I've gotten through Ovid. Have I been saying Ovid? Ovid. Yeah, and his great work, Metamorphosis. So that's it's all a retelling of all the ancient myths. So I'm going to do that, and I'm going after Don Quixote. I hope to finish that before the end of April. Then I'm going to start on Thoreau's Walden, which I wanted to read in April. I think Mrs. Reads a Lot was having a read-along, and in the beginning of the year, I wanted to do that. But it's not happening for me. I'm too slow. But I still want to really listen to it because last fall we actually hiked around Walden Pond, and we were up there learning about Louise May Alcott and Ralph Waldo Emerson and Nathaniel Hawthorne and Thoreau. So I really want to read that. And it's a great classic of environmental writing, and it's American classic, and I've never read it. I think I've read, I think in high school I read some excerpts, but that's it. So I really want to read that. So I'm going to listen to that on my audio. So I'm going to have City of God is my year-round read-along. Yeah, it's a read-along, but I'm going to read that, and then I'm going to have a book, an actual in-real-life book to read, and then I'm going to have an audio book, and then I'm going to have a Kindle book. And I cannot handle more than that, I've decided. It's too much pressure on me. Unless there's a really, really intriguing read-along that I just want to cram in there, I'm just going to focus on, it's really, I mean, City of God's ongoing. So it's really going to be 3 books that will change throughout the year. Because I can't do more than that. I just can't. For one thing, I start to confuse the books, and I feel like I have this pressure on me. I just can't. I'm not like a voracious reader like some people who can just go through books. And it's not like I listen to audio on, 1.5 times speed or whatever like that. I just don't do that. And I've just got too many other things going on, and I'm not good at organizing or juggling things. So, all right, speaking of which, I better get going because I've been talking for 12 minutes and I got to get to this walk. And so I hope that you are doing well, and happy reading. Bye-bye.